Welcome, weary one. I invite you to lay down your burden and take a deep breath. I've seen the burden you're carrying and how it's weighing you down. But as you'll soon see, carrying this burden has made you ready for this exact moment. The universe knows precisely when we're ready to hear a truth that will ignite a fire of insatiable abundance. That's why it's no coincidence that we're meeting here today. Soon you'll look back on the burden you carried, and you'll remember that it was all part of a plan to bring you into a new realm of unlimited abundance, where feeling alone with your burden, where the pain and frustration of scarcity are no longer the song of your life. But you're here right now, and that tells me all I need to know about you. You haven't given up. You're still insistent about changing your life. You're still searching for the key that will unlock the world of abundance you want, need, and deserve. The one key that will unlock the chains that have been holding you back. But as you're about to discover, what's holding you back is not some external force, like luck, or your parents, or your education, or lack of it, or even the circumstances that seem to conspire against you. You're about to discover that the chains holding you back is a sinister trick your mind has played on you. It's a neurological phenomenon some experts call mind gravity, and this gravitational mind force was created by someone other than you. So the burden of shame you've been carrying for not being able to change your life is 100% not your fault. So please lay down that burden and forgive yourself. I'll show you the cutting-edge scientific research that demonstrates this beyond any doubt. What you're about to discover is the key that unlocks your fantasies of abundance and freedom. This one simple but powerful key has been hidden from you for far too long. This one key controls the mind gravity that resides within you. And unlocking the full power of this force will quickly and easily usher you into the world of abundance you've been dreaming about. All you have to do is turn this key and watch abundance in every area of your life manifest itself like the rising sun. Soon you'll feel deeply connected to your source, whatever that means for you. Soon you'll experience a level of boundless energy that springs up from within you. Soon you'll replace anxiety and fear with rock-solid confidence and true, lasting peace. And your relationships will soon fill your soul to overflowing. But that's just the beginning. Once you discover how to turn this key, your worries and frustrations over money will vanish like morning mist. That's because the force that's blocking money from your life doesn't stand a chance once you have your hands on this secret. You'll finally be able to manifest cold, hard cash like it's your birthright. The sexy new car in the driveway, it's already yours. A vacation home overlooking the ocean, that too is yours. Exotic vacations to Switzerland, Australia, or anywhere else your heart desires, it's already yours from the beginning of time. That's because when you watch this video all the way through, you'll finally understand exactly what's holding you back. And exactly how to flip the script on mind gravity. As you'll see, unlimited abundance is possible for anyone. Once you have this one key, this key has turned my life around, and it's worked for hundreds more just like you. But it all started with the most searingly painful moment of my entire life. It kills me inside to reveal it, but if it helps just one weary soul struggling with the burden of scarcity, then it's beyond worth it. So if you want to discover why mind gravity is your only enemy when it comes to manifesting the life you want, and how to reverse its power with the push of a button, the real reason the 1%ers want to keep the masses mired in scarcity and poverty, plus the one trick to virtually guarantee you're never sucked into that mindset, what never to do when you've received a possible sign from your guardian angel, plus how to follow your sign without surrendering to doubt. This is the only manifestation secret you'll ever need. That way, you can manifest the life you want, starting as soon as today. It all started when I moved from a small, dreary, cold town in Ohio out to sunny LA. I had dreams of making it big as a musician. You know, hearing my songs on the radio, playing in front of thousands of screaming fans, millions upon millions in the bank. But that's not at all how it happened. The moment my wife and I touched down at LAX, it seemed like all the lights went off. My guitar got stolen at the airport on our arrival. The apartment we were going to rent was a scam. Then I got fired from my day job. Scarcity shadowed our every step. I called it bad luck back then. I kept waiting for my big break, but it never came. I'm sure you've had your share of dreams that turned to dust too. We were living in a dingy apartment in a dangerous part of town. We had been living on a prayer for so long we'd forgotten what our dreams even were. My wife had been patient, but after 5 years her patience ran out. She was done. She said she was moving back home to Ohio, with or without me. She was going to leave me. That's what we were arguing about when we were broadsided and she was suddenly taken from me. I was devastated and alone. I was too ashamed back then to tell anyone that I cried myself to sleep every night. Eventually, all I could think was, I've got to get out of here. I couldn't make it in LA, and I couldn't get back to Ohio. Have you ever wondered, how did I get here? How has my life come to this depressing dead end? If you've ever wondered how you got so stuck, living a life you want nothing to do with, that's where I was. So I started scouring the internet for somewhere far away I could go to get away from it all. I didn't know it at the time, but I needed something more than an escape or to just get away from my life. Sometimes you need a deep reboot to discover how to actually like your life. I needed time and space to heal and recover from the loss I experienced when my wife died. I felt so lost, I didn't know where to turn. In desperation, I prayed for a sign, and when I opened my eyes, I felt a small measure of peace. A little later, I noticed a job listing, in Antarctica of all places. In that moment, I felt something stir inside me. I took it to be the sign I'd prayed for. And besides, Antarctica was about the furthest place I could think of to get away from my problems. At the time, I wondered if I was jumping from the frying pan into the fire, but at that point, I didn't care. I decided right then to take this dead-end job in Antarctica and try and sort my life out. After all, what did I have to lose? Before I knew it, I was walking down the stairs of the plane and getting blasted in the face with the coldest wind I'd ever felt. The next morning, I started my job and started getting used to living at the literal bottom of the earth. I wish I could say that I found myself, or I turned over a new leaf, or that was the start of something great. But it wasn't. In fact, things got worse. That's because when winter hit, the sun disappeared, for good. The harsh cold, the total darkness, and the barren landscape matched my internal reality. The one exception to this bleakness were the stars on a clear night. I'd never seen them so bright. One particularly crisp night, I took a walk to clear my head. I found myself lost in the beauty of the starry sky, and it dawned on me how long it had been since I recognized the beauty around me. But now it was impossible to ignore. So, ever the hopeful optimist, I asked the universe for another sign. Was I even on the right track? Was I in the right place? Nothing was really changing for me. I was working a dead-end job at the literal bottom of the earth. Should I stay or should I go? Just as that song clashed into my head, I saw a bright green light start to form on the horizon. It was glowing and pulsing like a neon sign. Before I knew it, it had filled the entire horizon. It took my breath away. I stood there, transfixed, unable to move, my eyes glued to the southern lights before me. The sight filled me with wonder and awe, but it also did something else. The beauty awoke something in my spirit that I hadn't felt in a long, long time. Hope, positivity, peace, beauty. It was there, inside me. But then the light show stopped almost as quickly as it had appeared. The light inside me pulsed on for the briefest moment before I was left in complete darkness again. I made my way to the cafeteria, again surrounded by the harsh darkness. But my hope had become a small flicker. I got my food and sat down at a table, completely oblivious to anyone else around me. I was slowly eating my food on autopilot, when I was suddenly joined by a woman who sat down across from me. She had raven black hair, dark skin, and the most striking green eyes I'd ever seen. She looked both young and old, like she was timeless or even outside of time. "You're David, right?" All I could do was nod. I was so taken aback. "My name's Arya," she said. I felt energy pulse through my entire body. Just moments ago I had asked the universe for a sign. Then I'd seen the aurora australis explode over the barren reaches of Antarctica. And now, sitting in front of me, was a woman who somehow knew me. I had a sixth sense she knew more than my name. Maybe you've met someone who just seemed to see right through you, who knew you better than you know yourself, who seemed so grounded and yet so accepting. That was Arya. "I've been watching you since you arrived here," she said. "You look lost, alone, and afraid. There's no light behind your eyes, only darkness. I know why you're here, but I want to hear it from you. Tell me why you're here." She held me in her gaze until I felt uncomfortable. I fidgeted in my seat until it felt like something would explode inside unless I opened up to her. But for some reason, I felt safe, like she understood even though I didn't know why or how. Maybe you've had that liberating realization before, where you know you have nothing to lose, where it's only pride that's holding you back. So, since all my previous attempts to escape my scarcity and inner despair had failed miserably, I realized I had nothing to lose. Besides, my guardian angel had come through by giving me what felt like an inescapable sign. So, with nothing to lose, I opened up and told Arya what I'd told no other human being before. I spilled my guts. I told her every deep, dark secret of my miserable life. It was so liberating to finally feel brave enough to be 100% transparent with a total stranger. Even though I cried like a baby in the cafeteria right then and there, I didn't care. I could feel a profound shift happening inside me as I shared my story, and I didn't want it to stop. And the more I told her about the darkness of my life, the grip of scarcity, fear, and darkness was beginning to let go. And that faint flicker of hope grew stronger and brighter. Arya ended up having much more in store for me than just listening, as you'll see in a minute. Much, much more. When I had finished, Arya reached across the table and grabbed my hands in hers and started speaking into my life. "You're here in Antarctica because of the belief that transporting yourself to a different place is the answer for changing your life. Not long ago, I believed the same thing. I was raised in a small village in Tibet. It felt so limiting and oppressive I couldn't wait to get away from it all. Away from my parents, away from the traditional roles for women like cooking and cleaning and raising children, away from the lack of opportunity. I even wanted to get away from the Buddhist teachings I was raised with. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to study the science of the whys and hows of the world. That's how I ended up here at this scientific research station in Antarctica. But that's a story for another time. As much as I wanted to get away from my past, there was a teaching from my childhood that stuck with me. It was the idea of Shambala, a place of peace, prosperity, and serenity, a place without pain or suffering or frustration. I half thought that when I finally left home, I'd be on my way to finding it. Now, just about every belief system teaches about a special kind of place, like heaven, paradise, nirvana, or jhana. There's a universal desire to go somewhere beyond this life, somewhere better than this life. But they're all centered around a belief that it's a future place, a place without life's problems, a place without the pain and the loss, a place where you don't have to struggle with scarcity. Everyone wants this place of never-ending, uninterrupted abundance. Now, as a girl, I was taught that Shambhala was this future mythical kingdom, but not something I could make part of my reality in this life. I believed that until I left my village, struck out on my own, and started studying physics. I studied physicists like Albert Einstein and Amit Goswami. What they demonstrated completely challenged what I believed about my experience of reality. As I dove into this research, not only did it challenge my beliefs, it revolutionized my reality. My experience was reborn from one of scarcity, lack, and fear into abundance and peace. I found Shambhala can and does exist in the here and now, not a mythical future place. Over the last 5 years of intense study and scientific research, I've discovered 3 truths that can unlock the same Shambhala existence for you, helping you manifest the life you've always wanted but never dreamed was possible. Now, this secret is 100% non-religious. I call it Shambhala because it's what I was raised with, but you're free to call it whatever you want. But I must warn you, It will require a leap of faith on your part. If you can find the courage to say yes to this small bit of light, you will be rewarded. Would you like to hear the 3 truths I discovered? I sat stunned, but then again figured I had nothing to lose. The day I said yes in the cafeteria is the day when everything in my life changed. It's when my life was flooded with light instead of darkness, hope instead of despair, purpose instead of feeling lost. I found deep connections and no longer feel so alone. What's strange is that I can feel the difference in my physical body too. I sleep better than I've ever slept before. I wake up with the energy and vitality that makes me feel like a kid again. But most surprising is the ease of generating the wealth I'd only dreamed of. The first truth Arya shared was this: your attention creates your reality. At first I thought Arya was starting in on some woo-woo nonsense, and I'm sure my face showed it because I'd been down that road before. But then she said, I'm not talking about the law of attraction creating your reality. I'm talking about something altogether different, something the world's leading physicists have confirmed, and it is that every single experience of your reality is created by your attention. So wherever your attention goes, that is what's creating your experience of reality in real time. This is very different from the law of attraction. See, physics teaches us that reality has 2 distinct forms. One is the wave form and the other is the particle form. The wave form is where reality exists, but only as pure possibility. But the particle form is your physical experience of reality. It's when infinite possibility becomes your finite reality. The particle form is where we experience life on a daily basis. But here's the thing. It's your attention that gets to choose to either focus on the wave of possibility or the particle of reality. That's how your attention creates your reality. In other words, when your attention continues to be focused on the finite reality of your current experience, you simply keep recreating it, kind of like the movie Groundhog Day. Arya continued, David, it may be hard to accept, but it's your attention that continues to recreate your life of scarcity. Your attention has continued to focus on your finite reality, which is why your life keeps feeling dark and heavy. Even though the circumstances might be different, the resulting reality is the same. This is what the world's leading physicists, including Albert Einstein, labeled this the observer effect. In a now famous experiment, physicists proved that it's impossible to separate the observer from the observed. They're one and the same, so whatever your attention is focused on continues to be your experience of reality. Literally everything is observed into reality, and the miserable life you've been experiencing, whether you want it or not, you observed that into existence through your attention. As long as you're giving your attention to what you don't want is all that you'll ever have, because that's what Einstein and the laws of quantum physics have shown. As I took a quick stock of my life over the last several years, I could sense the truth of this. Even though I wanted something different, it's not where my attention was. I hope you don't blame yourself, Chandler, she said. It's not your fault. Which is where truth number 2 comes in. Are you ready? I nodded. Your brain can get caught in the negativity vortex. When you begin to experience what feels like a lifetime of negativity and scarcity, more often than not, that reality of experience builds and builds. It grows on itself, creating something called brain gravity, until it's become an inescapable vortex of negativity. And the reason is fairly simple. Bad experiences are stronger and more memorable than good ones. They live in our minds longer, leaving a deeper, more lasting impression. This negativity vortex or bias has even been proven in university research. In another now famous experiment, professors at Florida State University concluded that losing money, being abandoned by friends, and being criticized is more impactful than winning money, making friends, or receiving praise. They conducted an experiment in which participants gained or lost the same amount of money. The pain participants felt over losing money was far greater than the joy they felt when gaining it. Put another way, You are more upset about losing $50 than you are happy about gaining $50. Your attention stays longer on your pain than on your pleasure. So, since your attention creates your experience, and negative experiences create their own gravity in our minds, our attention gets caught in a negativity vortex, where all you can see is scarcity and negativity. It's basically inevitable, unless you know how to escape the vortex. My jaw was on the floor at that point. It felt like Arya knew my life better than I did. That's when she told me about the third truth. It's your subconscious that conducts your attention. She told me how most people feel like it's their circumstances that are their enemy, that they're constantly fighting bad luck, or just waiting for the right break, or just hoping for the best. But all that does is perpetuate your current experience of reality, and keeps you from seeing the role your subconscious is actually playing in your life. She told me that believing circumstances are the problem. Couldn't be further from the truth, all because it's your attention that creates your reality. It's your subconscious that's running the show. In fact, the subconscious is the conductor of your attention. Your experience of reality is a lot like listening to music. The conductor determines the music the orchestra plays, and your subconscious conductor is what's directing your attention. In fact, your subconscious is so powerful, it's led some neuroscientists to conclude that it's responsible for at least 95% of our thoughts, feelings, and decisions every day. Some neuroscientists even put this as high as 99%. That's basically like living your life on autopilot. In other words, it's your subconscious conductor that's determining where your attention goes, and thus your experience of reality. In so many ways, Chandler, what you're experiencing is not your fault. Your subconscious conductor is running the show. You're experiencing scarcity, simply because that's where your conductor is keeping your attention. Look, no matter how many books you read about manifesting, no matter how many courses you go through, the conductor simply can't create a better reality for you, because it's not part of the music. It's not a part of your subconscious mind. Obviously, this limits your experience of reality because you stay focused on what is lacking. And that's why you only ever find more of the same. And that's why learning how to manifest is like banging your head against the wall. You need to get to the root of the problem by changing the music the conductor uses if you ever want to find your Shambala in this life. How? Fortunately, it's easier than you may think to reprogram your subconscious mind. That's where the conductor lives. Your subconscious mind dictates 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and decisions. Your subconscious mind determines whether you manifest scarcity or abundance. And unless you rewrite the music the conductor uses, your experience of reality will never change. Here's the bottom line. Manifesting the life you truly want has never been a matter of mastering the law of attraction, nor is it about trying to master some complicated manifestation technique or system. It's simply a matter of changing the music your conductor plays in your subconscious mind. And here's what will blow you away, because it's so simple and easy. The results start showing up in your life faster than all those outdated manifestation methods. All it takes is listening to a simple audio track that reaches right into where your conductor lives. This audio track speaks the conductor's language, and it's what reverses the mind gravity that's pulling you down. But to be honest, I felt a little suspicious. It sounded too simple, way simpler than what all the manifestation books talked about. Just listen to an audio track that talked to my subconscious conductor. Arya sensed my skepticism, even though she'd told me about the scientific research behind it, and how it's an ancient tradition that's been practiced for thousands of years. She sensed I needed to see it to believe it. So are you willing to accept a challenge? Simply listen to the audio every day for 9 days. If nothing in your life changes, you can forget this audio and you can forget you ever met me. I'd already traveled to the end of the world. What did I have to lose at this point? Sure, I said, why not? I've tried all the hard ways. Why not try an easy way? So I download the track onto my phone. Arya said to listen to it every evening before I went to sleep. She said this is the optimal time, because sleep is when the brain recharges and recreates itself. I'll find you after 9 days and you can tell me what you've experienced. so I went about my normal routine. Except I listened to the 22-minute audio quietly in my room every night before I went to sleep. I'll admit, I also listened to it some days as well, just because I enjoyed how relaxing it felt. Over the first 3 days, I didn't experience much that was different, so my skepticism grew. I almost said, screw this, but I remembered Arya's challenge, 9 days, and I'd committed to it. So I resolved to let go of my judgments, expectations, and my attachments, and I just went with it. Then on my 5th day, something happened. Something shifted. The transformation I experienced is hard to articulate. It's easier for me to tell you about the external things that began to appear in my life beginning on the 5th day, like the big improvement in my finances, and I promise to get into that shortly. But first I want to share with you the deep-seated, soul-soothing peace I began to experience. It's not too much to call it light instead of darkness. It was like the lights coming on in a theater after a horror movie ends. I could tell the conductor was orchestrating a completely new soundtrack to my life. I was feeling a powerful flow of new, positive energy into my body, and even though I was living in complete and total darkness at the bottom of the earth, in the harshest environment imaginable, I was filled with an internal light and warmth. The rigid beliefs of limitation and lack that I had been clinging to till my knuckles were white finally began to melt away. I could feel darkness fading and light taking control of my reality. I felt physically better in my own body, and my expectations about what tomorrow would bring, and how I felt about the future, began to transform. Even more, I finally felt connected to a life I wanted. Maybe for the first time ever, I started to see myself living the abundant life I was destined for. The nightmare of my wife's last moment and my angry words was being rewritten. I could still feel the sting of pain, but it didn't have the dark control over me like it had. The feeling of living life in constant scarcity, pain, and shame was disappearing like the morning fog. Because of this secret audio, I started to feel like the conductor was playing the soundtrack I wanted to listen to. My subconscious was being transformed. I finally felt aligned with my identity, rather than feeling like a stranger in my own body. And I had never felt so fully alive, like someone had finally plugged in a missing power cord. I could see and feel light energy all around me, even from distant stars and the frozen rock I was living on. I understand how this may sound strange, but I started to sense the light of the people I interacted with. Some people felt like they were dim, while others felt like they were more fully alive, more full of light. I actually felt connected to and drawn to this light energy in others. I felt connected to people in a healthy, life-giving way. I also felt connected to something bigger than myself, like I was not just another life form taking up space. I could tell I was starting to live a fuller life because of my connection to every other living thing. It felt like I was downloading new insights about my life and my journey, messages that weren't full of condemnation, shame, and failure, but possibility, worth, and value. I started to sense an intuition I could trust, which was completely new for me. Perhaps more important, I realized, without having to think about it, that I'd been living a life of self-loathing. I'd been marinating in self-hatred for so long it had become my default operating system. But the conductor was already changing all that. I started feeling a deep and genuine love for myself, and it wasn't connected to performance or even behavior. I was truly loving myself for the first time, exactly as I was. I arrived in Antarctica a dark, emotionally disconnected man, overwhelmed by the darkness of my life. After those 9 days, I'd been reborn. I was full of light and life, confidence and purpose. I was aligned and energized, and I know this may seem a little weird, but I felt surrounded by love no matter where I went, no matter what I was doing. After my 9-day challenge was over, Arya found me to ask how the challenge had gone. I told her about my experience, to which she just smiled a knowing smile. I also told her I felt a new mission and purpose in life, to take this Shambala secret back home, so I could help others like me who felt like they were living in darkness, who felt disconnected, lost, and blocked from living the life of their dreams. At first, Arya declined. She said she didn't think it was appropriate. During my 9-day challenge, I thought she might say this, and had come up with a proposal I didn't think she would say no to. What if with every sale of the audio track we donated a portion of the proceeds to a music foundation for kids? That way we could not only help spread this secret, we can help kids discover the life-giving gift of music at the same time. Arya thought for a moment, smiled, then said, "Deal." I'll tell you about the foundation I found in just a minute. You're going to love it. When I got back to the States, the transformation continued. My relationship with music had entered a whole other dimension. I could see and feel music in a way I'd never experienced. I sensed where it needed to go to impact people for the better. I stopped trying to be a performer, knowing I was now called to be a producer, to conduct rather than just play. Within the first week, I manifested a $2,700 producer fee for one song. Then I manifested $24,000 for a 5-song EP. All that happened in just the first week. Within 3 months, I'd made $50,000. Not long after, that sexy Porsche convertible was sitting in the garage of my beautiful home in Santa Barbara. In the first year after getting off the frozen continent, I took amazing trips to the Greek islands, Fiji, and Patagonia. I was finally living my best life and felt amazing while doing it. And it happened not because I became a meditation master, or because I had a spiritual awakening or even figured out manifestation. All I did was listen to the audio track Arya gave me before going to bed. The conductor did the rest. But it wasn't just my finances that had a radical shift. I had a new purpose and mission, to get this audio out to the world. So after I got back, I started making adjustments to the audio tracks based on some research I'd been doing into 3-dimensional sound, and how it can trigger recreation of new neural pathways in the brain. Plus, we decided to hide some of the guided meditation and make it subliminal, simply because it made the most sense to talk to the conductor in its native language. I'll tell you more about this in just a minute, but right now, Arya and I couldn't be more excited to invite you to transform your life, once and for all, and help give young children the advantage they never would have had, all by getting your hands on the Shambala Secret. It's the only manifestation program based on reprogramming the subconscious conductor inside you, so you can transform your life by transforming your attention. How did we do it? Well, first I took the audio Arya gave me in Antarctica. I noticed that chants, chimes, and bells were a key component of it, like many ancient meditation practices. So I decided to look into why that was. I discovered that science has only recently confirmed that specific sound waves can impact and influence the subconscious. I also discovered that specific types of music combined with gamma wave audio tones can actually direct the subconscious mind. In essence, the right combination of audio tones can retrain the focus of your attention. When your brain is operating within the gamma brainwave frequency, it's directing your attention and honing your focus. In other words, it's the brainwave state that talks directly to and retrains your conductor by focusing your attention on what you do want. Remember, it's your attention that actually creates your reality. But that's not all. Gamma waves also associated with binding your senses together as one. This is one of the reasons Arya's audio track was so powerful in transforming my life. By focusing your attention on infinite possibility, at the same time your senses are bonding, makes the brain think that you're already experiencing the life you want, making it the most natural thing in the world to keep recreating it, instead of continuously recreating the life of scarcity you don't want. In addition to the guided meditation and gamma brainwaves, I added 2 new enhancements making it even more powerful. We recorded the audio as a 3-dimensional soundscape. 3-dimensional sound helps stimulate new neural pathways inside the brain. In other words, it helps give your brain the avenues it needs to continually recreate itself. If you're going to continually experience a new reality, your brain needs new neural pathways. The next enhancement is the use of subconscious messaging, which, according to some neuroscientists, is 500,000 times more powerful than conscious messaging. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. But for now, you need to know that the Shambala Secret is only available on this website right now, but possibly only for a short time. And this is why. The Shambala Secret is so powerful, yet quick and simple to use, that I've already been threatened by certain big-budgeted manifestation gurus. They're trying to shut me down because they think this simple secret is a threat to their own complicated and involved teachings. Which is why I can't guarantee this video will still be online tomorrow. That's why I want to encourage you to take action right now. If you've been in a struggle with scarcity, what have you got to lose? In just a minute, I'll prove to you how you have absolutely nothing to lose. Now, the Shambala Secret is not a long, drawn-out program. It's a single 22-minute audio meditation that you simply listen to on your way to sleep every night. Sleep is when your body and brain are actively recreating itself, so it's the most powerful time of day for this kind of work. This audio track helps transform your conductor from a power that's working against you into a power working for you. You can finally start experiencing what it's like to effortlessly focus your attention on the reality you want to experience, and start experiencing it straight away. You can finally stop your attention from focusing on the reality that's holding you back from the life of your dreams, and do it without wasting time trying to learn how to manifest. The Shambala Secret simply does the learning for you. That's because it's talking to your conductor in a way that you can't. This means you'll experience results regardless of your expertise. Once you press play, the embedded meditation code takes over from there. You might be wondering what kind of results you'll experience. Well, what kind of results do you want to experience? That's what the Shambala Secret does for you. It helps you create the experience of reality you truly and authentically want. By training your conductor to focus your attention away from past scarcity and onto possibility, which means that since everyone is different, results will vary. But what I do promise you is this: you will experience results, the kind of results you want to see in your life, the results that just weren't possible because your conductor was blocking it. Here's what you'll experience with this wonder-working 22-minute audio. The Shambala Secret audio has 3 very distinct phases. Phase 1 is called induction. This phase is designed to help you make the transition from your conscious operating system to your subconscious operating system, where your conductor lives. In other words, it takes you from where you are to where you want to be in just a few short minutes. The induction phase consists of an audible guided meditation paired with gamma brain waves and an immersive 3-dimensional auditory experience. In just a few short minutes, your conductor will be primed and receptive to receiving new instructions, so you can focus your attention on creating the experience of reality that you want. Phase 2 is called subversion. This phase is the majority of the meditation. I call it subversion for 2 reasons. The first is that this phase is completely subliminal. Your ears won't hear the guided meditation, but your subconscious conductor will. See, the subconscious mind can process 500,000 times more information than the conscious mind can, which is why the subversion phase bypasses the conscious mind altogether. Combined with gamma brainwaves and 3-dimensional sound, this goes to work subverting the old soundtrack of your life, where all your limiting beliefs live, where your fears and doubts live, where your shame and darkness live, and transforms it into a reality of abundance. Abundance becomes your new experience, because the Shambala Secret is finally able to reach and retrain your conductor to focus your attention away from the old and onto a new reality. There are no secret manifestation tricks to learn or courses to attend. Simply put your headphones on and press play. Phase 3 is called reawakening. Phase 3 gently brings you out of the subliminal phase, with a short audible guided meditation to fuse the subconscious realm with the conscious realm. You reawaken back into an alert and empowered state of relaxed energy. With the Shambala Secret, there's no trying to meditate. There's no fight to change your mindset. The proprietary brainwave frequencies do that for you. Now, when I first started researching the effect sound can have on the brain, I was a little overwhelmed by how much scientific research there was. Arya explained it to me this way. For years, cultures around the world had been using sounds like drums or chimes or bells to help transform our states of mind. It's just that only recently have we had the power to measure and therefore purposefully use sound waves for a predictable outcome. Imagine feeling a sense of safety and security in your life because your conductor is giving you true confidence, and you actually don't have to fake it till you make it. Imagine deep, meaningful relationships flowing into your life, rich with emotional intelligence, balance, and honor. Imagine finally feeling like you're inhabiting your truest self and that you never have to put on a facade to please another person ever again. Imagine past disappointments and shattered expectations becoming the springboard of new wisdom, insight, and intuition. Imagine feeling like you're saturated with pure, radiant love, that it's in you, that it surrounds you, and is flowing from you. Imagine knowing you can own and speak your truth fearlessly, with self-doubt completely melting away. Imagine living from a place of empowered interconnectedness, where separation and isolation are non-existent. Imagine living with the deep understanding of the divine that's in you and in others. Imagine finally understanding deep in your bones that you are enough. You are whole. There's nothing else required from outside for you to be complete, content, or abundant. Your attention has the power to manifest all that you desire. Look, how many manifestation gurus are out there hyping their cutting-edge program? If you're like me, you tried your best to follow a bunch of them. But ultimately, they fail to address the problem at its source. Your conductor has been programmed since you were a child, and it's been playing the soundtrack of scarcity your whole life, because that's all it knows. That's where your attention has been focused, for far too long now. Arya finally cracked the code with the Shambala Secret by harnessing the power of sound to reprogram your conductor. Like Arya says, why spend years learning to manifest your best life when it's as close as pressing play on your smartphone? With the Shambala Secret, simply listen to the 22-minute audio with your headphones and allow the Shambala Secret to do the work. Like I mentioned, after the devastation of losing my wife led me on a journey to the bottom of the earth, and after feeling completely lost for so many years, I finally have a new sense of purpose. I want to help as many people as possible discover how to quickly and easily train their conductor to focus their attention on manifesting abundance. And I'm on a mission to help kids discover the life-changing gift of playing an instrument. And like I mentioned, we've raised some eyebrows in the manifestation community. Some of them want to shut us down because this secret makes it too easy and makes those other programs obsolete. That's why Arya and I are doing everything we can to make sure this stays on the internet. That's why I want you to take action today. It kills me to think of how many people are out there just like I was, living in a dark place, convinced nothing would ever change. To me, it would just be wrong if I didn't share this transformational information. That's why I selected a small group of individuals I knew were struggling to try the program first before offering it to you. People like Stefan from Little Rock, Arkansas. Here's what he had to say. Before Shambala Secret, I always felt like I wasn't in control of my own life, like it was in control of me, and it just kept getting worse and worse, no matter how hard I worked or what new idea I tried. But now, I finally feel like I'm in control, like life isn't just happening to me. It's the most freeing feeling I've ever had. Oh, and my financial troubles, literally disappeared. Then there's Christine from Portland who said, Ever since I was a kid, it felt like my life was surrounded by a heavy darkness. I felt depressed most of the time, like there was always a blanket of despair I always carried around, and my constant financial troubles as an adult only added to that. But Shambala Secret changed it all around. I've never felt freer from depression or from my financial troubles. Thank you. Or how about Jennifer from North Carolina? As a single mom, I've struggled with making ends meet, let alone having some left over for fun. But then I lost my job because of the lockdown. I was afraid I'd have to start living on the streets. That's when I discovered the Shambala Secret. Within a week, I had a job that paid twice my old job, and I was able to splurge on my kids for Christmas. An absolute life changer. Arya and I have been told from these individuals that this audio is responsible for helping them manifest thousands of dollars. Because of that, I've had some friends tell me I should charge at least $1,500 for it, if not more. But when you choose to reprogram your conductor today, your investment won't be anywhere close to that. In fact, it won't even be half of that at $750. which would be a steal when you consider just how much your life is going to change. Since my mission is to reach as many people like me who felt the bitter sting of scarcity, I put an insanely reasonable price tag on it. Today, when you invest in yourself, your investment is only $39. That's just enough to cover our expenses and keep this video on the internet. If you can see the value of revolutionizing the soundtrack of your life, then this should be a complete no-brainer. If you'd like to experience how to effortlessly direct your attention and reprogram your conductor simply by hitting play on your smartphone, then click the big Add to Cart button just below this video right now. When you do, you'll be directed to a page where you can enter your information and confirm everything you're getting with your order today. We decided to partner with the online platform called ClickBank to process our transactions. That's because they offer world-class military-grade encryption and security. And like I mentioned, Aria and I will donate a portion of your purchase to a nonprofit called Hungry for Music. They donate musical instruments to disadvantaged kids so they can discover the life-giving gift of music for themselves. So, you're not just saying yes to yourself, you're also doing something tangible to help transform the lives of underprivileged kids. Sign up today and get instant access to the Shambala Secret, so you can change your current experience of reality starting tonight. Now, since time is of the essence, I want you to have this simple yet powerful tool that reprograms your conductor to focus your attention on your new life. But I understand if you may be on the fence about taking a leap of faith. I know I would be. That's why we're including 3 amazing bonuses when you complete your order today. You're going to love them. The first bonus is called The Healing Wind, and its retail value is $37. This is a powerful, quick-hit guided meditation for any time you're feeling heavy, overwhelmed, or just a little blah. This gamma brainwave audio helps harmonize the mind-body-soul connection and helps stimulate the immune system. This has become my go-to solution for any time during the day I might start to feel a little off. All it takes is 11 minutes to allow the healing wind to work its wonders. The second bonus is called The Sleeping Ocean, and it's valued at $57. If you've ever known how disruptive bad sleep can be, this will be a lifesaver. I simply put this 22-minute sleep session on right after I listen to the Shambala Secret at night. It features calming ocean sounds and Tibetan singing bowls in honor of Aria, and it harmonizes your brainwaves so you can enjoy the best sleep of your life. You'll wake up feeling refreshed and energized. Which brings me to the third bonus. It's called The Golden Sunrise, and its retail value is $37. This 5-minute track is based on the brainwaves of positivity and focus. Paired with morning sounds, this track will help you start the day awake and alert. There is no better way to wake up than with the golden sunrise. Now, I want to address something important right now. It has to do with the pain of parting with money, especially if right now it seems like there's never enough of it. It's how I felt right after the accident. It felt like not having enough was a constant weight on my shoulders. I learned that reaction had everything to do with the old message of my conductor. Since that had been my reality for so long, my attention was glued on it. But once the Shambala Secret began transforming my conductor, and my attention could be retrained to focus on possibility, the old pain of parting with money got transformed into a new message that I'm worth investing in myself. It'll do the same thing for you. Look, I'm so confident the Shambala Secret will do everything it says and more that I want to put your mind at ease and simply get it into your hands. For that reason, Aria and I guarantee results for you with a 100% no questions asked money-back guarantee for a full 365 days. I call it the Power of 9 Guarantee. Here's how it works. Say yes to the Shambala Secret and take the 9-day challenge just like I did. Simply listen to the Shambala Secret before bedtime for 9 days in a row. You must be 100% thrilled with what you experience, or you'll get a full refund with a simple email. And get this, you'll have a full 365 days to give it a try. I've since learned that 9 is the number of completeness. Think about it this way. I'm promising you results within 9 days. And I'm giving you a full 365 days to activate the Shambala Secret in your life. If you're not happy with your results, then I want you to have your money back. You won't hear that from all those manifestation gurus out there. I've come to believe that you're not ready until you're truly ready. I wasn't ready until I was surrounded by darkness in Antarctica. If you're not ready right now, that's 100% okay with me. You might be wondering how you know if you're ready right now, and it might even feel complicated just thinking about it. That's why I'm removing all of the risk on this, so you can take all the time you need, an entire year if needed, to see if you're truly ready. Simply say maybe to the Shambala Secret right now. If you haven't seen powerful results in manifesting the life of your dreams within 9 days, you've risked nothing. You truly have nothing to lose. Your investment is 100% protected for the next 12 months. I feel that strongly about helping people reprogram their conductors so their attention can finally go to work creating the life of their dreams. All you have to do is email me, and I'll get your refund processed within 24 hours. No questions asked. So, are you ready to experience this secret for yourself? A simple yes, or even maybe, will have you experiencing a transformation in what your conductor pays attention to. Your self-worth and confidence will thank you. Your experience of reality will shift from scarcity to abundance. Your bank account will start to overflow. Simply click the button below this video, and you'll get full access to the members area in mere minutes. This is where you'll sign in to get instant access to all your Shambala Secret resources. That way, you can start transforming your conductor right away. Right now, I want you to think about the two choices in front of you. One choice is filled with a reality of scarcity, on repeat. The conductor will keep your attention on what you don't have and what you don't want, and it's no way to live. The other choice is one where you finally get to use the power of your attention to manifest the life of your dreams, all by quickly and easily reprogramming your conductor. That way, manifesting your dream life, well, it's not just a possibility, it's an inevitability. Imagine if I'd said no to the 9-day challenge. You and I wouldn't be here right now. Like I mentioned, saying yes to the Shambala Secret does require a step in faith. But it's not a leap that requires you to go to the bottom of the earth. It's just a yes that requires a simple pair of headphones, 22 minutes, and 9 days. Simply say yes right now and see what kind of life you'll manifest in the next 365 days, because that's how long you have to decide if it's right for you. If you don't like what you see, feel, and experience, then you've risked nothing except taking action on improving your life, which is valuable in and of itself. But if you choose to do nothing today and just wait for your life to improve, your conductor will continue to run the show, your attention staying fixed on everything that's wrong with your life, and you'll be powerless to change it because your subconscious conductor doesn't know any better. But by clicking the button below, you're taking a small but guaranteed step in faith. Your new path of abundance is as simple as saying yes to the Shambala Secret, knowing there's zero risk to you, knowing you're covered by an unconditional 100% money-back guarantee for a full 365 days, makes saying yes easier than ever. Now, for just a minute, I want you to close your eyes and envision the life of your dreams. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? If you can experience a small fraction of that life in this moment, you're experiencing the power of your attention focusing on possibility. If you can't, that's okay too. That's simply the power of your conductor keeping your attention on a reality that no longer serves you. Are you ready to change that with the press of a button? Say yes to the Shambala Secret and put your conductor on notice that there's a new reality on the way. If that's what you want, there's really no other option that makes sense than to reprogram your conductor to pay attention to the endless possibility of abundance with the Shambala Secret. It'll become your secret weapon in finally creating the life of abundance you want, need, and deserve. Click the button below, and I'll see you on the other side. If you're still around, you may have a few questions. Let me cover a few of the most common ones that come up. What have other manifestation programs not worked for me? How is the Shambala Secret different? Most manifestation programs simply don't address the conductor. Simple as that. And until you change the programming of the conductor, manifesting is just window dressing. Manifesting what you want is impossible until you update the conductor with this 3D engineered audio. This is what the Shambala Secret does for you. The Shambala Secret addresses all the negative beliefs you've been carrying in one simple audio. There's no difficult and long journey to learning to manifest. There's no endless mindset sessions. So because of the Shambala Secret, it's not only possible to manifest abundance, it's inevitable. How is my personal information protected? We protect your personal information with 256-bit encryption technologies using Secure Sockets Layer (SSL). This is military-grade encryption, meaning your personal information is as safe as Fort Knox. How does the guarantee work? Your investment in yourself is 100% risk-free. You get an entire 12 months to decide if Shambala Secret is right for you. If at any point during that 365-day period you feel like it's not the right fit, simply email us and we'll refund every single penny, no questions asked. I wanted to make sure you have the time you need to get the results you want. Your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. How soon should I expect results? No two people are alike, which means there's no way to give an exact answer that would be true for everyone. Some have seen amazing results right out of the gate. Others experience a steady buildup of momentum. But here's the thing, the results build on themselves, which is why it should be a daily practice. The more consistent you use the secret, the more powerful your results will be. Plus, since everyone is different, I wanted to make sure you had an entire year to try it out. Will this really impact every area of my life? Yes. The conductor is the master of your subconscious, where 95% of your beliefs, decisions, and habits live, which is why reprogramming the conductor is so powerful. There's no area of your life that won't be radically transformed. You'll finally be living your best life because the conductor will finally be reversing the negative programming you've been chained to for far too long. You'll experience a level of financial freedom you only dreamed was possible. You'll experience time freedom to live life on your own terms, not someone else's. Get ready for a tidal wave of abundance in your life, starting as soon as today. Try the Shambala Secret today.